to pull down and
Nope, we can't pull down. There it is. Is it going live still? Did
yeah.
I knock it off?
Yep, we're going live. Yep,
So we're live now?
we are live. Should be in about because we'll get the YouTube notification right there. So we are already live.
Very
Yes.
good. Welcome to Living by Oak Values. My name is Gary, and we are here. Shit, we don't just talk about values; we embody them. We make stronger men, fearless leaders, unstoppable humans. And I'm Gary, the Superior Mailman, and I'm on a mission. This is not just a podcast. We are real, raw, live, and ready to rebuild. So reclaim your identity,
Yay.
your power, and your purpose.
Is that yours? End of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. In this episode, we are talking about the powerful force that becomes the game changer in your life. It's the moment you draw the sand and set non-negotiable standards for who you are. In the silent strengths that stop you from shrinking, the mindset that refuses to settle, the courage that dares the world to meet you where you stand. It's about declaring, I will not abandon myself to be liked. And in living in that way, that backs up every single day.
Excellent. And today we're going to be talking about the value of strength. And last week, Rob was visiting me, and he had an issue with his daughter, who she had fallen ill, and he is going to tell you all about that story and how he embodied the value of strength, whether it was his personal strength, his strength in humanity, his strength in God, and all that stuff. So, Rob, tell us about your story from last week.
Well, long story short, my daughter fell, hit her head, and got a concussion. And she was in the hospital ICU for what, 7 days? And during that time, it felt like it was a hit and miss. It was like, is she going to walk out of this okay? She wasn't conscious for the first 3 days, and it was scary. And then when she did come out of consciousness, it was like the second scary part was like, will she recover? And then the next scary part is, will she recover to her normal self? And then the next scary part is, college is around the corner. Will she be able to attend college? And the next, it just kept going and going and going and going.
A lot of scary parts.
A lot of scary parts.
So, when you first saw her condition, when you were at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
what was your immediate emotional response?
Scared. I
Very much.
mean, she wasn't conscious. I mean, she was, you were just scared. You don't want to be in the hospital watching your kid just lie there, not being responsive. I mean, it, it sends your mind whirling into a whole different ball games. Like, oh my gosh, is she going to survive? Is she going to survive? Is she going to die here in this tiny little state of Rhode Island kind of deal? So,
Okay. So, in the first few hours, how did you find that strength to stay grounded? Now, before you answer that, I remember you pacing back and forth, and I think that any father would have done that. I mean, you were pacing like crazy, but I felt you the whole way. I understood. So, how did you find the strength to not explode?
explode me more.
Well, in the sense, like I remember sitting there in that chair while you kept going in the room, and the doctors or nurses kept going in and out, and there were no answers. And I know they were doing their
Yeah.
work, but in the first few minutes, like, why is she unconscious? Why is she moaning? What? Give me an answer. How did you stay grounded that during that time when there were no answers, but doctors in and out?
I don't know. Grounded is the right word.
Okay.
It's faith more than being grounded.
It's what's that?
Faith.
Okay. Can you tell me about the faith that you had then? Like what? So you're a God-fearing man. What,
Mm.
where did your faith come in when this happened? I mean, you go to church and your daughter is an intelligent human being who's going to college soon, and boom, this happens. How did God let this happen? Where's your faith at right now, or at that moment?
How does that question is wrong?
Okay,
You can't ask that question.
we just did, and we're live.
Yeah, I know, but just to assume how did God let this happen is the wrong question. You should even it's not about that.
Okay, what's it about?
And it's not it's kind of like it's not that type of faith that you have. You have to have faith that these people will do the best that they can.
Okay,
And
and that's what I
God
was trying to
gave
get
them
to.
the wisdom to do it, not why did God do this? That that doesn't add up.
Okay, and that's the answer I was looking for. You could have gone either way with that, but it doesn't add up to you. Okay, so you had
Yeah,
faith that the doctors and nurses knew what they were doing, and they would take care of the situation.
the best that they could. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Hmm. So how did you control your monkey mind during this whole thing? Or did you not have monkey mind? Were you calm?
To control the monkey mind, well, for one, I had to let my emotions process. I couldn't just sit there and say, you don't have a reason not to cry. So I did cry when I needed to cry, but I also couldn't let my monkey mind take a hold because what good would it have done to have sit there and argued with a doctor about why you didn't find a cure?
Okay.
I mean, if my monkey mind was going, oh, why didn't the doctors find a cure? Well, does it really matter? She's getting healthier every day. I mean, in the time, is it really about letting your monkey mind win, or you're just sitting there being patient and having faith that the universe will do what it needs to do?
I think it's the latter about having patience with the universe. But I asked you that question because a lot of people that we work with have monkey mind, and it takes
Mm-hmm.
over or it takes control. So how was it that you managed to allow the universe to just let this unfold and end the way or get to where it was going to go without losing your mind?
Without losing your mind, I'm not sure what. I'm not sure that I didn't lose my mind. To tell you the truth,
So you
it
think you did
feels
lose
like
your
it
mind?
sometimes.
Well, there were some moments. I know you had called me with some crazy things that you had said, but and they weren't crazy because they were a little crazy to me, but you were a father and your daughter is sick, unconscious, and the things you had said, you had the worst things running through your mind. Like you had texted me one day,
Mm-hmm.
she might never talk again. And I was like,
She might.
did
There
the
was a
doctor say that?
possibility.
And you were like, no. I'm like, all right, let's not jump there until, but for the most part, other than that one time, you seem to keep yourself very steady, I felt. I don't know that I could have remained as steady as you were. So was there a trick or something that you've processed in your years of work that you could share with us on how you kept yourself steady?
Uh, yeah, I don't know how I kept myself steady.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I don't know. just going around and saying, well, is that really, no, I don't try not to tell myself stories. I don't know, but
Okay.
I did tell myself stories. So I can't say it was 100% successful.
Hmm. Okay. So my next question then is, how did this experience? Do you have more you want to tell before I ask more questions, or no?
What do I want to tell?
Why don't you tell the listeners how she's doing now, or if you want, whatever.
Well, she's doing better now, but I chalk it up to more to how many people had to pray for her. Because I called a lot of people to pray for her. There was a lot of people who prayed for her. And besides having the concussion after effects, where she wakes up and has migraines really, really, really bad. And she's doing much, much better. So, and knock on wood, she's heading off to college. So hopefully she won't have any major mind meld problems. So
Okay.
knock on wood, hope she's back to normal. We'll
Well,
see what PT does next week. So
okay. Sounds good. So then, now that she's getting much better, how has this experience reshaped your definition of strength when it comes to being a father and as a man?
so when I was going through my divorce, I always looked at the Bible. Who was in the Bible? Job in the
Hmm.
Bible. And calamity struck him. And he lost his wife, he lost his kids, he lost his farm, he even got like a really bad skin disease. And so, and he was confused and he didn't understand why he was suffering. And I don't think strength was in his physical power strength, but he was unshakable under stress
Okay.
and refused to abandon like his who he was. And I think that's what I use this time around as well. Is like I'm just going to be who I am, and if I'm mm, not going to be there, then or not going to be strong, then I, I can't not be who I am.
Okay.
I
Hmm.
hope that helped.
I think so. So if this was to happen to another father, what would
Uh,
you say to them?
Breathe and reach out to people who are willing to empathize with you.
Okay.
Sometimes just knowing that there are other people, other men, other groups of people that are there to pray for you and talk to you, and it's like you're not alone. Strength isn't a solitary number. It's also strength in relationships and friendships and people to talk to.
Hmm. Okay. Well, just one last question then, and if you want to add more to it, you can. My last question is,
Okay.
tell us. It's his question, but it's whatever. Tell us how this experience has brought you closer to your daughter.
Well, I think it has brought us closer, but that's also a story I'm telling in my head. But it's because I think I stood there and was by her side and was as we put it, is like a masculine rock. I mean, the time she was hurting, empathizing with her
Mm.
during her pain and such. And I think it has brought us closer together. So I'm not like 100% sure, but it feels like it. How about that?
Okay. That works. I
Um,
mean, the story you told me earlier, or the story, but what you told me earlier about you guys texting all the time now, and she's just
mhm.
out texting you without you texting her first, and that was new.
Yes.
So you
Yeah,
were
that was new.
that right there. That tells me that's closer. When I get a text from my daughter and I haven't had to text her first, I always get excited. I feel that, and that can be a story, but I feel like that's her being close to me.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
well, overall, I think you did a good job last week. I think you held yourself very well, and you should be proud of yourself as a father.
Okay.
Telling you, that's you could have lost your mind, and if you did lose it, I didn't really see it. So
So what would that have looked like to you then? What
well,
would
what
losing your mind look like?
the first day in there, you had no answers, and I had to sit there and wait with my daughter while you paced back and forth, and I wanted answers. And whether
Hmm.
you wanted them or not, right there and then, you said you had the faith that the doctors were going to do the best that they could. I was like, what's going on?
Hmm.
Where are the answers? Why has she been like in that room for 6 hours right now? And then I had to go home, and I texted you before I went to bed that night, and I was like, any word? No. Like, all right, now she's been there for 12 hours. There's no word. Like, really? I was like
Yeah.
starting to lose my mind. I'm like, I don't get it.
Mm.
But they were working, and I guess they don't keep you up to date on every single thing while they're working it out. They don't want to say, hey, we narrowed this down, this down, this down. We think it could be this, 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 and this. We're going to do this, this, and that. You don't need to know that. It's not, that would be mumbo jumbo to you. So then eventually there was
Yeah, a
answers.
lot of it was. Yeah. And the only thing they really told me is that they were doing tests to narrow down what it wasn't. And so they would come back with tests like a drug test or like I can't remember what was the other test I told you. And it would be it's not this, but that doesn't tell me what it was.
Right.
So, and then they would have to do another test to eliminate something else. And yeah, it's confusing, but I don't know enough about medicine. And is it really worth my effort to get bogged down in the weeds? I was already stressed out on other stuff to worry about what exactly the exact diagnosis of.
Right.
It just wasn't. Maybe my brain just couldn't handle it. I don't
Okay.
know. I just didn't have the processing power in my head to 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 care that much
Okay.
for what exactly it was versus just get her well, more or less.
All right. Well, like I said,
So,
I think you held your own very well.
well, I don't know that I did the best, but I tried. I cried a lot, so
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Anyway, so that's why it was a question. It was like you asked me, it's like, how did you hold up? And that's a good point. Is showing strength meaning you don't cry? In that answer, I learned the hard way, and the answer is no. Even though you are strong, you still have to process your emotions.
absolutely.
Otherwise, they're going to eat you alive. And that strength to just go off into the bathroom and say, and let it go and just say, and then get back to the business. So that was tough. That was tough.
Hmm.
So,
All right. Anything else you want to add or no?
I'm trying to extend it just a couple more minutes longer, but I don't have any more questions. So.
Still have a closing part. So
Oh, true. Yeah.
anyway, so that's a wrap. And remember, guys, values are not claimed.
Oh.
They are earned. They are built on choices when no one is watching. So whether you're rising or retreating, remember honoring your worth and not selling short. And you are worth showing up for.
Oh, and big things are starting to happen. Conversations that are cutting deeper than ever. We're doing more new episodes that are live, unfiltered guests. We're going to go live at different times throughout the week. We're practically turning it up to 11. We're going to be louder, bolder, and we want you in the room because your story matters.
Excellent. And we embody real values. We want to change your life. We want to elevate others. So book a one-on-one session, master your emotional mindset. And don't forget to follow me, Superior Mailman, on YouTube and TikTok. And remember, we have every Thursday, we have our men's group at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Go to the website and is it still under events? Should be, right? I didn't look into that.
Yeah, sure.
All right. If it's not, we'll be straight on that.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's just got the wrong date on it. I'm pretty sure it's the same link. We need to get that updated.
And stay grounded, keep growing, and above all, stay authentic, guys. Have a good one.
You can just hang up the Zoom.